It was very confusing watching that game and trying to understand, A, are these guys really, really awful at their jobs? B, did they just go out and pull 6 people or 9 people off the street and put them in stripes to do this job? Or C, are they on the take? Because this was horrible.
You're pulling a Steve Sipple. You're getting out the tinfoil hats. You're saying something nefarious is going on. I'm saying
the game looked like one of those 3 options. It's probably A, they're really, really bad at their jobs.
My answer is always that they're bad.
That was a Hall of Fame bad performance.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
I've seen balls, misspotted by, a yard. Didn't see the knee down.
I've never seen anything like what happened at the end of the first half, though. I'm serious. So earlier in that drive, there was a play where Nebraska got a first down, and the clock, it looked like it started ticking really fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's interesting. They usually wait until they mark the ball, but oh well. So the drive continues, yada-yada-yada. They go down the field. And they get to that play on, it's second down, right? It's a second down run where it looks like they get the first down, and the clock just keeps ticking. And I had a friend over, and I'm looking at my friend David, and I'm like, why is the clock still ticking? And then it says 3rd and 1. And I am even more flabbergasted because not only did I watch in the year of our Lord 2024, that was Dowdell, right? Who got that? It was
Emmett.
I watched.
Dowdell got the first down.
Yes.
Emmett was the one who was misspotted.
Okay, so I watched Emmett not just get a first down, but it looked like he got another yard, maybe even more.
I thought it was 2 yards.
And so I was like, well, that's interesting. And then finally, Joe Klatt is wondering the same thing. What is going on? They misspotted them. Then they have to get the first down. Then they have to call the timeout. And then they show the replay. And more flabbergasted I was. I couldn't believe it. They got confused. They thought it was Fedoni. Those incompetent idiots. They thought Fedoni had the football. Or somebody else. I don't know. An alignment?
But how does that happen?
I don't know, John.
Because usually when you spot a football and you're running from the sideline into the play, you see the man who is tackled. And you see the thing that is the most important thing in football. The ball!
The ball. He had the ball.
The ball!
Yeah, he had the ball. He's like waving it. Hello, first down.
So how can one run in from the sideline?
It's the sequel. The ball!
Make the spot. The breasts! And not see the ball!
Yeah.
The breasts! That is impossible!
Yeah. Pretty bad.
The good news is, the Big Ten put out a release today.
Hey, they did apologize, John.
They set out a release today that said, during Nebraska's final drive of the first half on second down with 2 yards to gain on the Ohio State 39-yard line, the ball was incorrectly spotted after a run by Cornhuskers running back Emmett Johnson.
Hey, at least they apologized.
The ball carrier crossed the 37-yard line, and a first down should have been awarded to Nebraska. Replay should have stopped the game to review the spot since it involved the line to gain. Or maybe you should hire refs who have vision and can actually see and are looking for ball.
Or balls.
The ball.
Look for the balls.
Before I continue my rant, here, Matt Rule was asked about this today. Nick, do you have a MR4? Matt Rule about this statement that was put out today by the Big Ten.
I commend the league for putting out a statement. The worst thing I can do is get up here when I'm trying to get our team to turn forward to UCLA and be talking about, the calls that went against us in a loss. I think that's very forward thinking of, Commissioner Petiti and of Bill Carollo, who's the head of officiating. And I think it's what should be done. We all just want transparency in everything, right? Hey, I come here, you guys ask me what happened on this play, what happened on that play, right? And to do my best to be transparent and answer them. So I appreciate the statement.
Let me read this email real quick from Money Chris before we continue, because there was other plays. He says, how did no one from the Nebraska staff not call timeout to get them to review the play? That is something that can happen, correct? Yes. I will. I'm going to give Matt Rule grace here, and maybe I shouldn't. Thank God they got a field goal at this drive, so in the end, I don't think that it changed the course of the game. That level of incompetence is like so unexpected that I don't think anybody noticed. And maybe they should have, and it was just so wild. It was so, because at first I thought again, oh, they just marked it really, really fast, and that's why the clock is going. That's what I thought. It was not that they didn't give them the first down. So yeah, I guess they should have. But I don't think you expect other things to happen in games. You expect them to get calls wrong. This was so bad because there was no question. This was not a judgment call. He had the first. He easily had the first down. So I guess somebody should have noticed, but I'm not going to get mad at Nebraska for that.
Well, if they didn't notice or if they did, that's a situation where I don't give a damn. You run on the field as a coach. You run on the field, you grab the official, and you say, what are you doing?
Well, yeah, if Ryan Day did that, they'd just be like, hey, sideline warning, Ryan.
You're like, no, it is spotted incorrectly. You got to get their attention because that is such an egregious error. That's
Horrible.
not a judgment call.
Horrible.
That's not a judgment call.
No, they got a first down by a yard.
That is, I mean, if that's a judgment call, then the person who made that call has the worst judgment of anyone doing that job, and that person should be fired. Not today, not yesterday, on the spot.
Yeah.
They should bring the security down from the stands onto the field, arrest the official, and march him off the field. I am so tired of this incompetence. And this is what I talk about every time. This statement doesn't mean squat to me. Matt Rule, kudos to you. You said the right thing.
Yeah, he doesn't want
but
to get
this
fined.
statement doesn't mean a damn thing. This is BS. This is garbage. You got to do something about it, Big Ten. You got to do something about it. You got to get your idiots in that stupid little multi-billion-dollar replay center to buzz in and say, stop the presses. You screwed it up. So they didn't do their job. The official on the field didn't do their job.
No.
And then after the game, you march those idiots in and you make them answer questions. Not from one reporter, but from the whole damn press corps. Because this is the only profession in the public that is not accountable to the public. I have said this for years. I will keep saying it. There is no accountability with officials. None. There is no accountability. They're all cowards. And this needs to stop. That was a horrific officiated game.
Oh, across the board.
It was terrible. And it should never stand. Ever. I mean, come on.
My favorite part.
What are we doing?
Towards the end of the game, the other moment in time, obviously, that had the most reaction, and if Nebraska scores a touchdown, would have been, a huge talking point. And of course, that is the targeting call on the play in which Jamal Banks did catch it, and then there was targeting. And when you tweeted, they got every part of it wrong.
They did.
Every part of it they got wrong. It was not a target. You and I are in agreement. It was not a targeting call. So thus it should have been a catch and a fumble. But because it was a targeting, it wasn't that.
Uh-huh.
But then they throw a flag on Ryan Day, but they give a sideline warning, even though he bumped into an official, which is a no-no. And so that should have been 15.
And did the same thing that Matt Rule was flagged for 2 weeks ago, throwing his headset.
See, now, watch the replay. He does hold on to it, not to defend Ryan Day, because I don't want to do it. He does the motion, but it's still in his hand. So I don't think it's slammed down, but he bumped into the official. You can't do that. They got every part of that play they got wrong.
Oh, but wait, there's more, kids. Ohio State filed an appeal on behalf of Arvell Reese.
Yep.
The man who was ejected for targeting. And he
would have missed the first
half of the Penn State game.
Yeah.
The Big Ten went to the NCAA football rules secretary, and after review, it was determined it was not targeting. He will not be suspended for the first half versus Penn State. So they missed that too.
So we just said we don't think it was targeting. They admit it was indeed not targeting. Bad.
It's inexcusable.
Yeah, it really is.
It is inexcusable. It is inexcusable how poorly things went in that game. And there was one other thing Matt Rule said. We won't get to it right now because I don't want to go off on another rant.
Nah.
But he did make a pretty good point about these rules emphasis that come down mid-season, when you get a rash of certain things. And, it happened with the 12-man on the field deal, where they literally changed
the rule in October.
Yeah. They didn't change a rule. They just said, hey, this is a new rules enforcement or new rules emphasis or whatever.
Well, I'd say they changed the rule. It's now you put time back on the clock. That's changing something. It's changing structure.
It's
changing how you react to the rule.
Right. But he said, what, a couple weeks ago, there was a offensive pass interference in the Oregon-Ohio State game that got a lot of people fired up. I honestly don't remember the play. But because of it, officials were told, hey, we need to watch for this. We need to watch for this.
Yeah.
And as a result, Nebraska got hit twice for OPI in the Ohio State game. And as Matt Rule pointed out, listen, we bring the refs in at the beginning of the season to go over all this stuff. And then you're changing the game in the middle of the season, which isn't fair to our kids.
Yeah.
Because they've been playing under one emphasis, and even though it wasn't a game you were in, now it's affecting you. And it's also affecting the officials on the field because now they're asked to adjudicate differently than they did before. And I thought that was a good point.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm not accepting your BS statement, Big Ten. Time for talk is over. Do something about it. There. Got that out of my
I liked
system.
it. That was good.
You good, John? You going to lower that blood pressure over the break?
I'm good.
I'm worried.